While the multiverse is vast and varied, no one universe can truly compare to the Servant-verse, a reality in which servants are set free from their origins and allowed to pursue their lives freely. However, not all is well in the Servant-verse. A crisis unfolds as the Saber class becomes far too prolific. Certain heroic spirits, especially Artoria Pendragon, begin to manifest in multiple forms, and their inflation goes out of control. The Saber class's value plummets, sending the Servant-verse into an unprecedented economic crisis. The Lancer class is on the verge of extinction, and those of the Archer class are rounded up as criminals and imprisoned. If left unchecked, the freedom of the Servant-verse will lose its very purpose. Yet, there is a new hope, one incarnation of Artoria Pendragon, who declares the rest of the Artoria species is a cancer of the universe that must be destroyed. This Artoria is known as Mysterious Heroine X, and she has made it her goal to eliminate Saber-class heroines under the code name AX. Beyond her goal, her accomplishments are impressive. She manages to save an ancient royal dynasty from a crisis, settle the internal strife of the Mankind Integration Union, and rout invaders from another universe. However, these actions are trivial enough that she forgets them in favor of the hunt. She continues to brandish her sword until her goal is completed. Despite being an assassin, she declares herself to be the definitive edition of the Saber class, an anti-Saber decisive weapon. She wields the Secret Caliber, Sword of Unsigned Victory, a blade clad in beams that can be dual-wielded, harnessing both light and dark as separate swords. When swung, Secret Caliber makes a familiar, low-pitched sound. For her ultimate attack, she summons Secret Caliber's Excalibur into her right hand, and Excalibur Morgan in her left. Using them in tandem, X can rocket toward her opponent, continuously slash them, and finish them off with a leaping strike in the shape of an X. Thanks to her origin as Artoria Pendragon, Mysterious Heroine X has a reliable riding skill, which helps out particularly well when piloting spacecrafts. With her own personal vessel, Dune Stallion II, she can warp throughout her universe, with the capacity to warp backwards and forwards in time, or to another universe entirely. Thus, X tasks herself with saving her world from the Saberface inflation, and uses Dune Stallion II to venture to another timeline in the past, where they all originate. At her destination, there is Chaldea's master, Ritsuka Fujimaru, and their trusted Kohai, Mashu Kyrielite, spending their time off, helping Artoria Pendragon Lily train to become a stronger warrior. Mysterious Heroine X crash lands beside them, and immediately sets her sights upon Artoria Lily, one of the many saber faces she strives to hunt. However, X encounters Lily being down on herself, and forces her into a duel, so that she can see the power of the ultimate saber. While Ritsuka and Mashu know right away that X is a version of Artoria, they keep it a secret so that X can believe her tracksuit is the perfect disguise. After their bout, X shuns Ritsuka's team as novices. She acknowledges that her mission is not to obliterate all saber faces, but to cull their numbers. After all, she is a descendant of the Saber class and cannot exist unless at least one Saber survives. She chooses Lily as this servant and vows to mentor her as a Saber instructor. While this benefits Lily, X is secretly planning to slay her upon returning to the future. With no knowledge of this, Lily's enthusiasm blends well with X's determination, and the two get along surprisingly well. Of course, X's training regimen is quite selfish, forcing Lily to gather parts that broke off from her ship when landing. Furthermore, various monsters find themselves driven to X's spacecraft, and Lily is tasked with defending it from them, gathering Artorium, a newly discovered energy particle, along the way. With the gathered Artorium, X can power her ship and use its device, Atom Kadmon, to enhance Lily's spirit origin. Their training is frankly ridiculous, and Lily even scores the opportunity to blast Blackbeard in the crotch with Caliburn's light. They are found by Nikola Tesla, who is delighted to hear that, in the Servant universe, he is known as Captain Nikola, rival of the Dark Doctor, Sanity Gilles. Nero is flabbergasted to discover that her equivalent in the Servant universe brought destruction to planet Rome through a concert. Their training is interrupted by the arrival of mysterious Heroine Z, a clone of X that, unlike her more reasonable self, is bent on destroying all sabers without remorse. Because X is too soft in accomplishing her mission, Z intends to kill her. Z claims to have caused the spacecraft to crash in the first place. While Z manages to weaken X with a sneak attack, she realizes that she is not strong enough to take on Ritsuka's party on her own. Using the true magic of Kisher Zelrech Schweinorg, Z unleashes a technique called Saber Ninja Art, 3-wave duplication, to call upon copies of herself. Regardless, thanks to Lily's diligent training, Ritsuka's party is able to defeat her. X recovers from being attacked and apologizes to Lily for trying to use her. Despite this, Lily is grateful for X's mentorship and wishes to continue her training. Ultimately, X has learned to be moderate in her goal, choosing to one day assist Chaldea for the chance to defeat strong sabers under Ritsuka's command. Although mysterious Heroine X has a genuine desire to save her universe, there are forces of evil that prefer chaos in the Servantverse. This group, the Chivalric Order of Darkness, Dark Rounds, is led by Master Agravane, the Servantverse's version of Sir Agravane of the Round Table. Beyond being an organization of villains, they specialize in creating artificial servants. Mysterious Heroine Z is one of their creations, but ultimately a failed prototype. Their success, however, is Mysterious Heroine X Alter, an anti-saber decisive weapon tasked with defeating Mysterious Heroine X. Her power is derived from the Alter Reactor, which converts calories into mana by using alternium crystals embedded in her body. The most efficient fuel comes from Japanese sugar, particularly her Infinity Chocolate, which continuously supplies her with energy. In her endeavor to slay X, she is accompanied by the Heroine K6X4, a service auxiliary high-performance robot that assists in combat and navigation. Despite being forged from the head of a rampaging mechanical giant, X Alter settles on calling it Black Knight-kun. As a resident of the Servantverse, she is diligent and open-minded. When not on her mission, she keeps to her own space, comforted under a black round table kotatsu with books and music to entertain her. Despite this, she is not to be underestimated. X Alter possesses dangerous abilities, such as Alter Choke and Alter Lightning. The strongest tool in her arsenal, however, is her wicked holy sword, Necrocaliber, which can transform and allows her to perform her noble phantasm, Cross-Caliber, twin black dragon sword of promised victory. Necrocaliber was purchased online from a sketchy vendor, and she is unable to utilize the full specs listed in its catalog. Through a mysterious ray shift, Ritsuka Fujimaru winds up inside K6X4 with X Alter in the Dark Rounds castle on the planet Lothian. There, Lord Agravane declares that the Dark Rounds must go into hiding as a result of rising rebellion. While X Alter offers to accompany him, Agravane instructs her to hide separately, for she and her unique talents are best served working from the shadows. She is to be the future of the Dark Rounds. While the two argue about separating, they are attacked by Babagen, mortal enemy of all villains. X Alter prepares to engage the enemy, but she is reminded that her sword is not at full strength. To protect her, Agravane seals X Alter's memories and sends her to the escape pod along with Black Knight. Upon escaping their castle, X Alter leaves the gravitational pull of Lothian. She realizes before fully losing her memories that she is to be the last surviving member of the Dark Rounds. After X Alter's memories are erased, thanks to Principal God Bless Edison, she finds herself attending Cosmo Chaldea High School, the same school as her sworn enemy, Mysterious Heroine X. As a matter of fact, both X and X Alter are assigned to be roommates at the dormitory. Together, they proceed to cause havoc throughout their school days, fighting over pudding, breaking curfew, and smuggling in snacks. Eventually, Mysterious Heroine X hops into Dunstallion II and embarks on the journey that leads her to Chaldea. X Alter, left alone, is told of a planned attack from villains. just as her memories appear to be returning. That night, Ex-Alter confronts Babajan, who happens to be one of the school's professors. She asks him about the night he attacked Lothian, specifically the fate of Lord Agravain. When he refuses to divulge confidential information, Ex-Alter fights him to forcibly remove his memory media. After a violent showdown, Babajan understands Ex-Alter's resolve and tells her about Lord Agravain, revealing that he tumbled down into the castle's reactor core during the conflict and could not be found again. Hearing the truth brings back all of Ex-Alter's lost memories, and she realizes the need to seek revenge for her lord by finishing Babajan off. However, she cannot bring herself to kill him. Instead, she is approached by the Villain Alliance, who wish to recruit her. She accepts their offer, so long as she can bring Black Knight with her. Before departing, Ex-Alter realizes that Black Knight's malfunctions, or rather, Ritsuka's presence, were caused by an Alternium chip embedded in the Vroid's head. Before removing the chip, she tells the Chaldean master that, once she becomes a valuable servant, she hopes to be summoned. Despite Ex-Alter being a villain, X remembers their time in school quite fondly. Thus, the two rivals from a universe far, far away and into the future eventually find themselves summoned as heroic spirits in Chaldea's battle against the demon gods and the singularities caused by them. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy this channel, help me beat the algorithm by liking, commenting, and sharing the video, subscribing to OtakuDaiKun, and most of all, smashing that notification bell as if it were your waifu. That way you'll never miss out on all of my anime content, lore videos, live streams, and Holy Waifu Wars polls. My vids are struggling to get featured, so that bell is absolutely critical. If you want to support me directly, check out my Patreon, or consider donating via Super Chat. And as always, celebrate your fandom.